what is up, and welcome back to another episode of So There's That. I am your hostess, doing the mostest, Kivanshi, and we are here with the Gilded Age, Season 3, Episode 5, titled A Different World. Quick question. Has anybody, ever committed murder in any of the previous seasons? I need to know, because at this juncture in the back half of this season, the only thing that's going to satisfy me for my faves is somebody getting put in the ground. I don't know. At this point, I just feel like this is our only option. And, it being the 1800s, forensic criminology and things like that didn't really exist for real. So it would have just been speculation, or somebody got on a boat to Europe or something like that. And then, we would cry for 3 months and then we'd be over it. But I feel like murder. Yeah. Y'all, first and foremost, the reason I am sitting here with my hair almost done braided, I am braiding my hair myself. And I wanted to come on here specifically looking like this just to spite one Elizabeth Kirkland, because I'm not done with you. I'm not done with you. And if you see my hand and you're like, oh, where's your ring? I cannot braid my hair with that ring on and be snagging and all types of stuff. So I don't want to hear no speculation. Okay, just put that out there. Elizabeth, I wanted to get on here because I just don't think I was done cussing her ass out in the last Gilded Age recap. I wanted to sit here in all of my blackness, looking like something that I have shared with my mothers, the women that are mother figures in my life, aunts and stuff like that growing up, in just the joy and the art of getting your hair done, the bonding, the conversations, feeling closer to your tribe of women in your family. And I was thinking, I'll finish my hair and then I'll do this recap. But I said, no, because first off, there's a lot of Black people who are watching my recaps of the show. Hello to every single one of y'all. Y'all are stunning me with how you're coming here and having these conversations in the comments. I love it, right? Me in real life, I try to be authentic in every space that I am. Will you know all of my business? No. Will I change, or will you see a different me from platform to platform, space to space? Certain crowd? Absolutely not. I believe in authenticity. And first and foremost, I believe in just being Black. I was Black when my parents coupled together before I was a man or a woman. It was as it was always going to be. And so Elizabeth's whole storyline, and I cannot believe Alicia Rashad out here got me mad at one of her characters. I'm just this woman is doing so much to assimilate into white privilege while still trying to toe Blackness, but only half, or not even half, but only a piece of what the Black experience actually is, through Black elitism, through colorism. I'm still stuck on, did not tell you not to go outside without an umbrella. What does doing their hair at night look like? Peggy comes in there and she has coarse texture. Granted, it's in more of a blown out state and stuff like that, but I just really need Peggy and them to be back up in Newport and just shake stuff up. I want Peggy to answer the door at night with her and William in their unmentionables, and she got braids in her head at night. I just need something to just rock Elizabeth off kilter and just wholly remind her, ma'am, you are the N-word to every last one of them, despite the lightness and the darkness of your skin. So please cut the shit. So anyways, yeah. And it's one of those things where even like when we talk about, I'm getting so off track. This ain't got nothing to do with the episode. But even when we talk about like sometimes like black hair being political statements, they're political statements because people try to make it out of our identity. They try to make it as if we are less than because of the biological thing that happens to our body, whether it's kinky, whether it's straight, whether it's curly, coily, or whatever, everything from, you know, A to Z for whatever hair pattern and stuff that you have. It's laws that were put in place to tell us that we couldn't get jobs if we didn't straighten our hair. It's stuff written into policies these days that says, that dictates what professionalism and everything looks like. So yeah, I'm sitting my black ass on here in spite of Elizabeth Kirkland's whole storyline in solidarity with Peggy. Because Elizabeth, I say this with so much love. Fuck you. Anyways, this episode, y'all, is pissed me off. It pissed me off. Oh, I don't even know where to begin. Okay, so we're going to start with the stuff that pissed me off the most since I'm already hyped and already got that energy. And then we're going to end on something that I think is so funny, fun, and cute. And then also I have questions. Okay, boom. Gladys. Gladys and the Duke. Gladys and Sarah. Gladys in Europe. You know what? I need Gladys to slap the dog shit out of Sarah. I need it. I already said in my last recap that there is some sort of emotionally incestuous relationship going on between Hector and Sarah. But now that I'm looking at it and we see a little bit more behind the veil in this episode, it's giving. I just need to know more about their family. When they went on a tour of the house and they walked in front of the portrait of Hector and Sarah's mom. It just really gave, like, something gave Sarah raised Hector, and that the responsibility of his upbringing and him finding somebody worthy enough to become a duchess was sat squarely on her shoulders at a very young age. And so we're dealing with decades of her being the older sister, and y'all know how it is with firstborns and daughters. Like, Sarah probably, now this is the only amount of understanding I'm about to give Sarah, and that's because I'm an understanding person. I feel like the motivation behind how she is and where she's coming from stems from, if she were a man, this whole thing would be hers. And not just by sex alone. She probably knows everything about that house, everything about Europe, everything about the policies. And Hector was just allowed to grow up and fuck off while she had to bear the brunt of all of it, even though in name, he was going to inherit the whole thing. So I just feel like that is her motivation behind being a bitch. And also why she's staying in that house. But like Monica said last episode, is Gladys gonna appreciate you still living in this house? And we're already seeing Gladys is like, oh hell no. And you got one more time to talk about New York. We ain't got rats up in our house in New York, you nasty bitch. So what you not finna do is try to tell me and try to shun me and think you gonna grab my man's arm. No, I didn't want to marry him. Yes, he is broke, but I'm here and I'm running things. I don't know who you think you are or where you come from, but baby, Yankee me one more time. Yankee me one more time, and I'm gonna Yankee that tiara out your head. Like, you can see the energy from Gladys coming in. I live for it. When Sarah tried to fire her aide, and she came walking down that room like a mad peacock, I said, get her, whack her, then whack her again. But then Hector, oh, little brothers get on my nerves sometimes. I have 4 of them. I love you all. He just standing here. Sir, when are your cojones gonna drop and you're gonna stand up to your sister? But again, that takes me back to what I already said. He don't know nothing about being a duke. He don't know nothing about running the estate. And at this point, Gladys needs to just marry Sarah, because what is he even doing? He did that one cute little thing at dinner where he switched the placemats, and Sarah was like, "Oh, I've been demoted." Are are you his wife? Are you sleeping with him? Like, what? You've been demoted? Girl, words means things. What the fuck are you talking about, girl? Like, oh my God, just a solid punch right to the face. And I just feel like things will be right. But that whole thing is like dark. It's all musty looking. And they're like, well, I know you Americans like to build new things, but this estate has been in our house since 1612. And it smelled like it. And it looked like it. And per these reps, it's seeming like y'all still in 1612. Like, girl, move on. Anyways, had to get that out. Next, George is falling into the toxic masculinity trap of when your husband or your boyfriend or your man of some sort, whatever you want to call him, is in secret power competition with the woman that he's with. This whole episode, he just been throwing shots and then coming out your mouth talking about, you made me look weak. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So George is unable to speak to his wife in any type of mature or capable manner. You got with her because she was a strong woman, and now you're trying to basically say her being strong made you look weak as it pertains to Gladys in the wedding and as it pertains to Merrick at this dinner table. Just because you can't get your business affairs in order, what the fuck that got to do with her? She told you before, I don't say nothing about your business. You don't say nothing about me and these kids. I'm running this house. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But now, because George can't run his own business, now he's trying to get power in his household. And this is a classic, like, not even gonna hold you. This is classic red flags for abusive behavior. And this is how those things start. If you look at a lot of stuff with like true psychopathic serial killers, they're looking for power and control. And I just watched the episode of Snap last night about this man, this nurse who was killing people. Every time he kills somebody in the hospital, it's because something went wrong in his real life. And so his inability to cope with a lack of control of the things that was happening in his immediate surroundings, he went and took it off on the people, the helpless people at work. And so George is doing the same thing. You can't strong arm Mary. You're not getting what you want. You fired Clay for doing his job. And then you lied to Larry about it, talking about he wanted more money. No. You hired him to advise you, and he advised you, and you fired him because he advised you. Get your fucking shit together, George. Get it together. Then, yeah. Bertha, baby, please, I need you to invite Merrick so I can try to close this deal. Pull out all the stops and all the charm. Do what you do, babe. So she comes out with her cleave showing, and she's flirting, and she's doing what she needs to do, and he's sitting over there scrunched up in the face. And then talk about, I didn't tell you to flirt with him. Sir, you did. Well, I didn't mean like that. I wanted to fly across this room and strangle him. What? And Bertha told him right. Sir, don't get mad at me because you couldn't close the deal. I did exactly what you wanted me to do. Well, I haven't seen you do that with anybody before. And is it that you haven't seen her do that with anybody before? Or are you feeling so insecure and inadequate that you are now making what she's been doing for you before her fault and her problem? You asked her to bat her eyes and to show her titties. And then you got mad that she batted her eyes and showed her titties because you couldn't close the deal. 19th, I'm not even gonna say this is a 19th century thing because, baby, women empowered right now dealing with the same. Dealing with the same. And there's nothing more dangerous than a man who become broke. When a man go from like having money and being ahead, the head of the household or whatever, and then he started not being the head of the household because he's tied his entire personality and his worth into what's in his wallet. That is a dangerous man. And George over here giving her ultimatums and stuff like that, talking about some, well, this was your fault. Gladys is miserable. I should have had more of a hand in it, and I don't trust you no more. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna be back when you get here. Like, okay, my dude, because Merrick was already showing that the charms was working. So you cannot be back if you want to. When I get back from England and figuring out what's going on with my baby girl. But there's dicks aplenty. Like, as long as I can keep the affair out the papers, baby, I can do whatever I want. Since you want to play these games. George, Jorge, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You give a woman like Bertha, a woman with ambition, a woman who knows her power and knows her strengths and knows how to wield them. You give a woman like that an ultimatum, baby, you will regret the answer, because no matter if it hurts her heart, she will choose herself, because she can bet on herself and know that she won't turn her back on herself more than any man. And a woman like Bertha, she's already said this. She's not putting stock and stake into love only. Sure, you think I'm cute and you flatter me with pretty words, but that's not enough. She done already told this man that to his face. And now he's sitting over here talking about, well, I don't know if I'm going to be here when you get back. Okay. Bet. And honestly, bye, George, because Merrick is fine. I need Big Bertha to get all the men. Merrick is fine. And he's the exact opposite in looks or whatever as George. So maybe he's the opposite in bed. Maybe she's gonna learn something that she liked that you wasn't even doing, George. How about that? Anyways, now that we've like got that out of the way, this one's not as like slappy, but Mr. Fortune, turn the sound off of my phone. But Mr. Fortune can get these hands too. Okay, so Peggy's in Newport and William takes her to a baseball game, and I just found out that her daddy be like funding or does like donations or something with this baseball. I said football, I meant baseball, y'all. At this baseball game, and Peggy is enjoying it. My sis is out here trying to get women the right to vote. She out here writing books. She's educated. She's dating. She still has thoughts of like having kids one day, and she's a sports girly. Oh my God. When one Mr. Fortune sees her at this game, now y'all already know I did not see season 1 and season 2, and I need y'all, listen, let me address this right now. I will eventually get to season 1 and season 2. But if I say something and I don't have a backstory, please spoil it in the comments. I'm not getting to it fast enough. I have so many things to do. I'm not getting to it fast enough. I promise you, even if you tell me what's going on, that's not going to spoil it for me. I'm one of them people, even if you tell me, I enjoy the adventure. I enjoy seeing the things unfold. So nothing that you say is going to ruin anything for me. As a writer, as a reader, as somebody who genuinely just consumes a lot of TV and film from all types of genres, that's not gonna spoil nothing for me. I promise you. So for those of you who be in the comments and y'all be like, oh my God, just please, just watch season 1 and 2. Just tell me. Give me the tea. Give me the tea. You're a resource. Let me use you as a resource. Be my resource. But I can just tell from this interaction that this was something, it's giving Mr. Fortune and Peggy either had something going on and she ended it, or he's always tried to push himself up on her and she ended it and called it out. It's giving, it's complicated, and it's definitely giving X something in some way, shape, or form. But he's like, no, I come in peace, girl. How would you like to do an interview on, I forget the lady's name, but she's one of the lead people that's going out for the right for women to vote. And she's Black. And so Peggy's like, oh, absolutely. So he's like, it's in Philly. I'm going to send you the train ticket and everything. I'm going to send you the information. Boom. So William, He's so smiley, but this episode really showed me that he's not as aloof as he's come off. Now, he may, with his mama, it may be a lot harder for him to show that he's peeping shit. And y'all know I've been asking, like, it's like, what is going on with him? Like, how naive is he? But I love how he gently let Peggy know, like, clearly something is up. And I love that she was honest with him and was just like, listen, it's a long story and I'm gonna tell you, but it was just some weird, complicated shit. But this is a great opportunity, so I'm gonna take it. So then when Peggy is telling Agnes about it, and Marion brings her the letter, she was like, are you sure this is wise, girl? And I just love how Marion is just such a good friend, and I'm gonna talk about that later, but obviously Marion knows the tea, and Peggy is giving her like the black girl eyes, like when we be talking, but we not talking. And Peggy's like, I know the city. And Marion's like, well, will Mr. Fortune be there? I am doing this interview. I'm me, girl. Because Agnes don't know. Agnes is up there like, why William need to go? She don't need no doctor no more. She feeling better. And so Marion finally peeps game and backs off. But while it seemed that Peggy may not have, taken Marion's concerns seriously, when she does go to the train station, William is there with her, dropping her off. And so she ended up dropping her shawl on the floor, so he went to go get it. And Mr. Fortune showed up and he was like, hey girl, guess what? Group trip. She said, I'm sorry, the fuck are you doing here? He was like, oh, I wasn't even gonna come, but guess what, girl? I'm free. I got a sitter for my daughter. It's just me and you. And William comes over and Peggy's like, yeah, so the letter just said, just me. And he was like, what up, Will? He said, that's Dr. William Kirkland to you. And I said, sling it. Let him know, baby. Stake your claim. Stake your claim. There are instances where like staking your claim on your woman is like the sexiest thing in the world. And this was that moment because William didn't do it as a way to possess Peggy. He did it in a way to assert his presence at Peggy's side without usurping her, standing up for herself in that moment to Mr. Fortune. He didn't get in the way and be like, oh, baby, I got this. Let me do this. No, he stood by her side, said who he was. And then Peggy was like, hey, listen, bruh, I'm doing this by myself or I'm not doing this shit at all. You're not coming with me. I am capable. So you can go back home, go have a tea party with your daughter and keep it moving. And because he can't, haul off and hit a woman, he somehow creates this beef with William. Oh, like your tone. And then gonna push him. Now Peggy stopped it. But I just feel like the good doctor, when he got away from all them uppity ass people from his mama, he went out to Howard. I feel like the good doctor learned how to beat somebody's ass. He probably didn't learn how to fight growing up in his mama's house. Because she probably told him that he would be called the N-word if he ever fought. That seems like something she would say. She probably called him a gutter ass boy for catching a tantrum and having emotions. But Peggy handled it. And again, I love like every time William speaks up, it's never to eclipse her. It's always to lift her up. And I genuinely look forward to them going to baseball games in the future. If Peggy invests in like a baseball game, oh my God, that would be incredible to see during this type of period piece, especially when you have, I think, Serena Williams invests in a sports team. Sierra invests in a sports team. I think she got Olympia, her daughter's name, as an investor in a sports team. And so I think just for Black women to put that in this fictional story, especially seeing how much Peggy liked being there. And she said something along the lines like, I can't believe like I've been missing all of this. It's like there's opportunity there to create a storyline where Peggy is making major moves as a Black woman in the 19th century. Is it unrealistic? Sure. But I mean, Madam C.J. Walker exists and became the first self-made millionaire as a Black woman during times that weren't as free as the one that I'm living in right now. So, writers, if you need some more Black writers in the room with some ideas, I got some ideas for Peggy's storyline that I think would be absolutely incredible for women of today to see and just feel empowered, because there's such incredible dialogue in this show that you get somebody like Danae Benton, like Audra McDonald, to deliver these lines. Bro, we all gonna be crying. I'm just power to the people, yo. Like, I just feel like that would be incredible. And speaking of incredible, I mentioned how Marion is such an incredible friend. So Marion, what do they call Larian are officially engaged, and I thought that was so sweet that he just did it. It was just them. It was intimate. It was in a space where it was just stunning. Like, he just took her somewhere that he knew she would find beautiful. Mind you, he just told her about him getting ready to go to Moretzi for his dad to try to procure something. And he was like, yeah, so anyway, girl, enough about what I got going on. Will you marry me? And he's another one that I love. Like, I love him and William, where they prop the ladies that they're dating up so much. The way that they're dating Marion and Peggy is just giving like classic courtship, but the type of men that they are so advanced and so ahead of the misogyny and the patriarchy of their time, at least that I'm seeing so far, right? You have George, and look at how he's talking to Bertha, and that's not something that just grows overnight. He's always been that dude. But it seems as though he's never had to aim being that way at Bertha until now. So his true colors are coming out, and she's seeing that she's not impervious to that type of ruthlessness. With Larry and Marianne, there's something very genuine about Larry wanting Marianne to have everything in life, and how he will stop at nothing for her to get it. Like, I don't know. William and Larry are my favorite men on this show right now. And I know Jack is a man, but that's like my baby, so he don't count in this scenario. Y'all know how I feel about Jack. They're my favorite men to watch with the women in the show. I genuinely enjoy them as like boyfriends. They're the cutest, and I love it so much. But even with Marianne, with all the exciting news, like I already said, her looking out for Peggy and making sure that Peggy's not getting in a situation that she can't handle. And then when she went to Newport to go to Mrs. Fish's big like societal event or whatever, just her being there for Aurora, especially when Lena ended up coming to this thing. And Lena's only coming just to make Aurora's life miserable. You had go home and tend to your floozy of a daughter who is out here doing the most. Like, are you insane? And I love that despite everything going on with Bertha and the people having their talks or whatever, and not like in the Russells, Bertha was like, I'll leave and take all these bitches out of here. Now what? Ain't gonna be no gathering. Ain't gonna be no nothing, because I run this. And Aurora's like, Bertha girl, thank you so much, but I'm gonna just leave. You ain't even gotta do that. And Bertha's like ignoring everybody. And she's like, Aurora, are you sure? And she's like, yeah. So Marianne's like, I'll leave with her. And it's just really nice to see a few women rallying around Aurora, The reason I asked about the murder thing is because I don't understand why Aurora is sad. I don't understand why Charles Payne is alive. I don't. I don't care about her getting these houses. She can get these houses and his death. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. We need to go from divorcee to widow. The divorce is not finalized. I need her to be out here smiling in spite of bitchy Lena, and knowing that Charles Payne ain't gonna be cheating on her with nobody ever again. Like, I really need this for Aurora. It's not coming fast enough. So hopefully in the next episode, I get what I want. But going back, right? So at first, Mrs. Fish is just like, Aurora girl, I did not think this bitch was gonna come. I promise you. But like, I don't really know what to do. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do in this situation? And so that's why Aurora chose to leave. But I love how Miss Fish went over and was like, Lena girl, come here. Come here. You hypocritical hoe. You out here stalking Aurora girl? And Lena's like, I'm not stalking her. Oh, okay. So showing up where she is to try to run her out is not stalking. Interesting. Because I'm pretty sure your daughter's news is in the newspaper because her husband challenged her boyfriend to a duel. So how dare you try to sit over here and try to act like Aurora is some bane of somebody's existence when you got one living in your house? And Lena trying to be all, well, my daughter is not getting a divorce, but Aurora is. So, I got to keep up appearances. I can't bend on this. I have to continue to uphold society and the women, and you're nothing without a man on your side. And Mrs. Fish was like, okay then, girl, I got one question for you. Will you be able to do the same shit when your daughter loses her man? And Lena gonna walk off. Exactly. And Mrs. Fish, I just haven't really, I can't even say that I like Miss Fish. Miss Fish is one of those people that even in real life, if she was around me today, she would be somebody that I could communicate with. I wouldn't tell my business, but I know how to laugh with her. But I wouldn't trust her. But I wouldn't distrust her either. There'd just be an air of indifference of being in her presence. But I did genuinely enjoy that she defended Aurora even in Aurora's absence. Because a lot of people could do that rah-rah in your face and they will talk about you like a dog behind your back. And so I enjoyed that while Mrs. Fish didn't know how to deal with a public scene and a public confrontation, she handled the confrontation with Lena away from everybody, but still decided to address it in the first place. I can respect that about Mrs. Fish. Like, she got mad. She got my respect for that. Now, we're going to skip over Agnes this episode because I already said everything last episode. My sis needs to see a therapist, y'all. She cannot deal. She cannot deal at all. But I think I found the source of her financial woes through apparently a missing person case by the name of Maud. So I guess Maud took all of Oliver's money, Oliver, aka also his family's money, and that's why they're all broke. And Ada had to come in here and save everybody. Just quickly on that, Oliver's man, love him. The friends were really friending this episode. Cause Oliver was all like, yeah, I'm gonna go see her. He was like, and for what? Like, let's not act like you wasn't using her too. If she's over here working at the strip club, then that should tell you how her fortunes are in life. But don't sit over here and act like you were all innocent and everything in the first place, because if you would have married her, it would have been a lie. Both of y'all was lying to each other. So yeah, she took your money, but you're making money now, dude. Get over it. And men don't have enough men in their lives to tell them this. And this was just so important, and it's such an important lesson for Oliver, because Oliver lives in the shoulda, coulda, woulda, lives in the I was. Like, he's such a in my heyday ass dude that I love that his friend / lover was like, bro, she took your money. It was what it was. She's selling her body. You're making money. You're doing it on your own outside of your mama's name. You're becoming a man on your own 2 feet. Leave that girl alone and let that shit go. Like, I genuinely enjoyed that. You don't see a lot of advice like that. A lot of times I feel like sometimes men, when they're hearing their homeboy kind of say some shit like that and doing all these other things, I think a lot of times they don't really know what to say, right? Because you're like, okay, you want to let your friend, get it out or whatever. But then a lot of times they be like, yeah, don't let that woman get nothing over on you. And I just enjoyed the fact that he was just like, dude, it's over. You're winning. She's not. It is what it is. Move on. And that's what I think really elevates this show for me, because they balance so well 19th century ideals and society and the levels of what it means to be feminine, what it means to be masculine, what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a man, what it means to have and what it means to have not, with 21st century energy and presence. I said this last time. You can just feel the character development from the actor in the way that they deliver these lines and in the direction of a show. It's so well balanced, and it's why there can be so much conversation of today in the show that's rooted around 19th century, because they keep themes at the forefront that we are still dealing with in 2025. So they're really showing you that everything changed and nothing changed at all through the show. And all the critics are saying season 3 is where they're finding their stride and where it's at. So if that's the case, as somebody who hasn't seen the first 2 seasons, I am enthralled by the season, and I'm just so captivated by the way that it's written and the way that these things are explored, the way that things are exploited, the way that things are disrupted in a fictional way that makes you reflect on nonfiction in your daily life and just makes you reflect on the history as well. So genuinely love it. Speaking of Maud working in the boxing strip club, I don't know what the fuck this was. Larry done dragged Jack out on the town, y'all, to celebrate his good fortune and his friend's bachelor party. Oh, that lady came over there and was like, we'll twerk for $1. And Jack was like, no. I'm fucking weak. Larry, why did you bring our child to this fucking place? Like, and the actor, Jack's eyes be big. He has such boy wonder in his face. Like, the way that he conveys newness, it's like a child who's tasting like real food for the first time. Like, Jack reacts to this new world like giving a kid a lemon for the first time. Like, it's so expressive in his face, and it's just great to witness. I don't even know, like, part of me wonders if this is the actor's first like real big role, because I can see him drawing upon like, yeah, I cannot believe I'm in the Gilded Age right now. Like, I can't believe I get to work with these people. I can't believe I get to be on this set, because there's such, I don't know, there's just such an authenticity in the way that he is just in awe and in fear of the new world that he's coming into with his invention and with his wealth. He doesn't really know what to do with it. I enjoy that Larry is kind of taking him along, telling everybody that's his business partner. But it also seems like there could be like a development of just like a brotherhood there. He's taking Jack under his wing and trying to like show him how to move in society. And I liked that while his friends were drunk at the strip club, they're clearly aware that he was a footman, and now they know that he has money, and it wasn't like made out to be weird. They just were like, congratulations, we heard. You want a drink? You want a lap dance? Like, what you want? You want a woman? You want a man? Like, they didn't make it a big deal of like him not feeling wanted or not being accepted. They're like, congratulations, you're here now. Welcome to our world. And I hope that it stays that way, because he can very easily fall down this path. And we know just through, I think it was 2 episodes ago, when Larry was helping him pick out a suit, and he was telling him, you know, you don't want to be flashy, you want to be subtle, and this, that, and the third. And Jack was like, you know, I kind of like flashy. So I hope that we don't find out that Jack's real personality, because y'all know how money is. People hide their personality until they get money, and then people be like, oh, money changed them. Money did not change them. They were just waiting till they had enough money and power to be their true selves. So I hope that Jack gains confidence and trusts his voice and trusts his own intelligence. I hope he doesn't become arrogantly boastful. I don't mind arrogance. I don't mind cockiness, especially when you deserve it. I don't want him to forget where he came from, because his support system, which is the aides in the house, first off, they are so nosy, but I love how the information is going around that Jack is worth more than everybody in the house. Mrs. Armstrong's jaw was on the floor. But shout out to Bannister, because he already knew how much he made. But Agnes was like, you need to go figure it out. And Bannister was like, okay. So you already know he's gonna go back to them and like tell the tea, like, y'all, Agnes trying to figure out how much money Jack made. Like, what do I do? What do we say? So the secret is kind of getting out there. But genuinely, what I would love in a perfect world, if Givenchy could get what she wants, I either want like a bonus episode that is just through the lens of the aides of the Russell's house and the Van Ryn's house, or a limited series spinoff with just their lives and their homes and their wives and their husbands and their kids, and going to the market and just telling all the tea. The comedic balance through the aides of these households, perfect. Chef's kiss, 10 out of 10, no notes. They keep me entertained, because who is spilling the Russell's tea? And then you got the head of the Russell household going over talking to Bannister, talking about, bro, we need to figure out like who leaking all this shit to the newspapers. Like, what is going on? Do you think it's somebody in our household? Is it somebody in yours? Hey, put your ear to the streets. Like, they are so nosy and they are so gossipy, and I need more. I need more. I love the drama. Love the drama. But I really want to know about them. Even Mrs. Armstrong, like Mrs. Armstrong, she like tries to come off on purpose, like she's trying to make herself a bitch to keep people at bay. But in this episode, even when she was like, oh, I didn't think you could do it, quite astonished. Like, she's saying kind things to Jack with her words, but her tone is very mean. And so it's just giving somebody who suffered a lot of loss. And so in order to protect herself, she doesn't want to get close to anybody. And so I'm just very interested in the lives of the aides. I just refuse to call them servants. I can't. But yeah, I'm very interested in their lives. So there's that. The Gilded Age, season 3, episode 5, A Different World. Y'all, it's a different world. Hey, it's a different world than where you come from. Than where you come from. And Gladys is finding that out. And when Bertha takes her ass over to Europe, she gonna find it out too. But this might be the bonding that we need to see from Gladys and Bertha, because Bertha don't like Sarah ass either. And so I'm gonna need the mother-daughter duo. Again, a quick mink mink. A quick mink mink. And pack her bags and send her somewhere else on the estate. You ain't gotta go home, because this ain't your home no more. But you gotta get the hell up out of here. Okay? And so I'm really gonna need Gladys and Bertha, to get through the whole, Mom, why did you do this to me? And the whole, I didn't know. I thought things would be good. I didn't know his sister was like this. I didn't know his sister wanted to sleep with him too. Girl, what can we do? Like get the blamey stuff and the apologizing stuff out of the way and join forces. Because Gladys is very much like her mama. And somebody mentioned in the comments from last episode how Gladys doesn't realize she's the table. I think this is the episode where Gladys is looking at herself and being like, I got 4 legs. I'm made of mahogany. Bitch, am I the table and they're the seat? And you could just see this awakening in Gladys just from first showing up to the estate and her confrontation head on with Sarah and how she looked at Hector on her way out. Like, now we're getting that realization. Now, when you're away from home, it's something about when you in the house, your parents be worried all the time. Like, I don't know how they're going to do on their own. They don't listen. They don't follow the rules. I don't know if anything that I said was getting through to them. And it's not. When you still living under the roof with your parents, even when you think you're grown, even when you think that you're coming into your own person, there's still the part of you that depends on them as their child. And so you don't take a lot of responsibility for your own life. You're a passenger for the things that are important, while your own focus is purely selfish and purely to feed your passions. But when you got to be out on your own and you're not around your parents no more, first thing you think is, what is all the shit that they told me? How do I stick up for myself? How do I get out of this situation? What did they tell me about money? What did they tell me about protecting myself? Like, in Gladys, in these small moments that we saw her, you can just see all of her mama and her daddy and the ruthlessness coming out in her expressions, in her posture. And yeah, Sarah, you thought this was a meek little Yankee girl. Listen, her parents' marriage may be in jeopardy, but she is her mama and her daddy's son, okay? And I am looking forward to what that looks like in these next episodes, because there's no way by the end of the season Sarah's going to still be living in the house. If she's still living in the house, I can definitely see this season ending with Gladys being like, new rules, bitch. And then credits. Like, I'm definitely looking forward to that. As far as their marriage go between Bertha and George, I've been calling it since like the second episode. I just see strife, and here we are. It came out of his mouth. It's been coming. We saw it. It is what it is. But like George, again, you're on the threat of being a brokey. So I'm going to need you to stop being mean to the people that you need in your corner. Still sitting over here telling Bertha, talking about, I don't have time to coddle your fears and questions and all these other things. Sir, if you're broke, then she's broke. So I'm going to need you to make some fucking time. But he's so wrapped in his own toxic masculinity that nothing is going to come from it. And I already said it. You out here, you got your son out here trying to make these deals for you. Like, you're spiraling. And instead of being open and honest, like, you're accusing Bertha of shutting you out of the things with your own kids, and you're shutting her out of the thing that's going to ruin your livelihood. Gladys getting married ain't going to ruin your livelihood. You losing our money is going to ruin our livelihood. Like, priorities, my dude. What? And again, you knew that this was the woman that you married. Me not seeing the previous seasons, I could just tell that. You loved her for this. Your kids have a lot of that in it. Because Larry ain't playing with your ass either. He got money. Larry, like, I'm not sure I'm investing my money either, but I'll check it out for you, Dad. But, like, what's in it for me? Because I don't know if I want to work for you. And that is very smart of Larry. Bertha better figure out what her son doing and how much money he got so that when George loses money, she can go live with her son. He not gonna like it. But shit, that's what I do. Son, come here. Mommy loves you, misses you so much. I promise I'll be nice to Marion if you can please fetch me a room. And lastly, I should not have laughed at this as hard as I did. Mr. Borden told Mrs. Bruce that he loved her. And she said, and I am so grateful. Oh my God, I'm sure they didn't mean it to be that way. I'm sure they meant it to be that Mrs. Bruce is scared to say that she loves him because of her complicated feelings with her husband, but I cackled too hard. Poor Mr. Borden. I want them. I don't know what I want. He's cute. He's cute. He had me bent the way that he proposed to her last episode, but he seems like genuinely kind and genuinely patient. And I just feel like, you know, you lose a love, you deserve love again. I think he deserves to love again. Mrs. Bruce deserves to love again. And I do enjoy that he did ask her about her husband, because you could just kind of tell, like, she does not talk about that man. And it hurts, and she's not getting a lot of feelings out. And so I do like that while he is waiting for her, he's giving her the space and the opportunity to say the thing out loud that she keeps hidden. And maybe by talking about it, it'll help her be able to at least emotionally move on. There has to be some type of clause in the law that can allow them to get a divorce. Or the writers, you know, can kill off her husband. We don't even know who this man is. I don't know. Have y'all seen him in the previous seasons? I don't know. He's nameless faces to me. So, but I enjoy that, because she told him when he asked, "Do you still love him?" and she said that's a hard question. And Mr. Borden was gonna give her the space to not answer it, but it's like she hasn't thought about it. Like she said, you know, I loved who he was, but I don't know if who he is now loves me. And so that's kind of weird. And so I definitely get that and understand that. And that takes me back to what I said. I want more of the aides. Like, I need more of them. I don't know. Y'all tell me. At this point, next episode could be all about them, and I would be so happy. And with that, we're gonna wrap this episode. Okay, as you can see, I still gotta finish my hair. But as always, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave comments in the comments box below. If you got people that only want to listen, as always, share that Spotify and the Apple Podcast link. You can always find me on Instagram at So There's That Podcast, where I talk about film and TV updates and news. You can also find me on TikTok, where I do reviews that I do not cover on this show. Again, if you have things that you want me to talk about, or a specific episode, a show, a movie, or whatever, let me know. And then I will do something quick on TikTok. And then you can always find me on Twitter. Oh, don't know what I was going to say. You can find me on Twitter at Kivanshi. Next week's recap of the Gilded Age might be a little late. I will be traveling, and I don't record when I'm traveled. I think I'll be able to do it and get it up in time next week. As y'all know, I've been putting it up immediately after it finished airing on the HBO Max app. So I'm gonna try to keep that deadline, but just letting y'all know. So for all of my Gilded Agers who be up underneath these posts, don't come for me next week if it's like a little late. Okay. All right. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next episode.